Stop the cap.
Please don't send me these nothing burgers. That clip was a nothing burger. It wasn't even, I don't even think maybe it had been 10 minutes long, not even. And that clip was a nothing burger. I'm talking about this. Somebody sent me this, talking about, look at this clip because of the title. And that's another thing I can't stand. People making titles, and then you go and you listen to the clip, and the clip doesn't really address what the title is. You know, like, that shit is irritating. But this is what is it? The Williepete experiment or experience, whatever the heck it is. Yeah, that shit comes up in my timeline every so often. I don't like inner city conversations. That's an inner city conversation. I don't like inner city conversation. I prefer academic conversations like a panel like Dr. T. Hassan Johnson. Inner city conversations is just a hodgepodge of random black people from all different walks of life, and the conversation never goes anywhere. There's usually like, two hoteps, maybe one guy that went to college, freaking the overly religious guy, whether it's Christianity or Islam. There's the vibrating at higher frequencies. I got my healing crystals, meditation. Then there's usually the woman stroker, the guy that's up there that's always like, my brother, you got to talk to our queens like this. And then he just goes up there and just says all the buttery shit that black women want to fucking hear. And he's just saying a whole bunch of nothing. The shit's not going anywhere. That's usually the person that I really get into it with, because, what I say, I'm not saying that it's final, but what I say is pretty fucking goddamn definitive. You know what I mean? Like, for example, when it comes to black men, leadership, power, everything, that conversation starts and ends with money with me. Because if you're not in the freaking appropriate position, as we can see with how dysfunctional and broken the community is, that shit doesn't work. That shit doesn't work. We got a community of women that are hyper-focused on money, at least when it comes to their own empowerment, like Ebony K. Williams. And then we got a bunch of men that are always running around swearing up that it's not about the fucking money. I hate those type of fucking conversations. They're a waste of time. I mean, it's just a waste of time. First off, the clip didn't even address the title, which is something about, he said that most black men are unfit to lead, and like, all that is to get a bunch of fucking views, because black women will jump on that don't even believe in black male leadership. And the thing is when you're having these conversations with sisters, and to know whether you're talking to a matriarch or a woman that wants to be in control, whatever, you need to ask her from the jump, do you believe that men should be in charge? Do you believe in male leadership? If she says no, then that's the end of the conversation. See, a lot of black women, they think that it's a flex for them to say black men are unfit to lead in some sort of general sense. And it's not a flex, and they look dumb, because the black men are unfit to lead should be a disqualifier. And most notably, it should be a disqualifier for becoming a father. Why are you having children with men that are unfit to lead? Why is that going on? See, it's not a flex. It makes black women look dumb, but they don't realize it makes them look dumb when you look at how many fucking babies there are in the black community, and who creates the most babies in the black community, which is black women. Because on average, the average black man has one child, while the average black father has one child, while the average black mother has two children. And then again, you have that whole aspect of the fact that 61% of black women are mothers, while only 46% of black men are fathers, and black women are a larger population than black men are. So you're talking about a higher percentage of a higher population. It's not a good look. See, the black men are unfit to lead. That sounds cool until you ask the questions, why did you have a baby with this man? Or why did you have more than one baby with this man, when you already recognized and you already identified that black men are unfit to lead. See, if it was a bunch of childless black women who were running around screaming black men are unfit to lead and they were talking about going over the fence, see, that's a totally different discussion. Shame on black men at that point, right? If black women were leaving the black community in droves and they were looking for real male leadership and they were going over the fence and they were the most submissive women on the fucking planet, in particularly when they go and deal with other races of men. And not only that, and they had the reputation of that to go with it. That would be a completely different conversation in the black community when it comes to the gender war. No, but black men are unfit to lead is something that black women state after the fact, after they have a baby. Because at the end of the day, they were not even at the end of the day, at the beginning of the day, they had no intentions of following a man or getting with black male leadership or any particular leadership. They're just trying to justify not having to follow. The baby is something that they wanted. They wanted the baby because of all the aspects of having a child, being attached to womanhood and motherhood and that whole identity, that women get into. Okay, there's a level of diplomatic immunity when you're a mother, in the black community. You can't talk about her. She's a mother. She's doing the best that she can, blah, blah, blah. We know how all of that goes. I don't know what the hell he thought he was doing. But anyway, we know how all that goes. Okay, it's just like I was looking at a video the other day of a woman addressing, talking about, she doesn't forgive her father for abandoning her, but she was pointing out that a lot of the problems that she has emotionally and psychologically, came from her mother. And that was something that, a lot of the women in the comment section, they didn't want to hear that shit. They're like, oh, she did the best that she could, da-da-da-da-da. Again, a child is not capable of dealing with whatever mental anguish a mother has. And this is one of the things that when it comes to black men and abandonment, or the men that aren't sticking around and being fathers, like they should be, this is one of those aspects where it's like, if you can't, let's just say you're justified in leaving. The woman just is batshit crazy and she's all type of fucked up. Number one, that's where you should have done your vetting first to make sure you're not going out here and fucking with a bitch that's crazy. And then the second thing is, if you can't handle the woman because she's batshit crazy, what the hell makes you think that a child that is now dependent on this woman can handle her if she's batshit crazy? You expect you can't handle her as a grown ass, 28-year-old man, but you expect a fucking 2-year-old or a 4-year-old to fucking deal with her? You know what I'm saying? Nah, that's foul, and that makes you look weak. You see? But again, getting into, these women that, they don't want to take accountability and all that shit. They think that it's a nice slam card. Oh, it sounds nice. It sounds nice. He's unfit to lead. He's unfit to lead, Kevin. He unfit to lead. How many women called in Kevin's show? He's unfit to lead. And what did Kevin almost invariably respond with? Okay, if he's unfit to lead, then what qualified him to be a father? And the women have no answer. They have no answer. Because again, his leadership was never taken into account. What he was capable of was never taken into account. The women just wanted the baby. Regardless of whether he was in a position to take care of the baby, support her, support the family, black women don't care. They just want the baby. And so you end up with these situations where she doesn't have support, the child doesn't have fucking support, and then the women just go online and they bitch about it. But you got with a man that if he's incapable, he's incapable. There is no correction because he's incapable. You identified that he was incapable when you fucking got with him. This idea that women are going out here and they're just getting with the most capable men in the world, and then the man just busts a 180, and then all of a sudden he just throws his responsibilities to the wind, throws his hand. That's bullshit. Y'all not even getting married to these dudes. And most of the time you're not getting married to the dude because he doesn't have his shit together, and neither do you. So in your mind, he's good enough for to fuck. He's good enough to have a baby by, but he's not good enough to marry. He's not good enough to follow, which makes no sense because that should be the prerequisites for determining whether you get with a man and whether you give your womb to him and give him immortality and shit like that. That's why the black woman's womb looks the most worthless out of all races of women's wombs, because y'all just be giving it away to motherfuckers that don't deserve it. Talking about my cookies is worth it and shit. Do you have any idea what that shit looks like to especially a childless man? When you sit there and you discover that not only does a woman have a child and then just totally destroys whatever fantasy that you had about, being with her, even if she does look good, but then you discover that the man that she gave herself to doesn't even remotely do a fraction of the shit that you do or are willing to do. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't make you feel special. That doesn't make you feel like you won something. That doesn't make you feel like she's the prize. It makes you feel like shit if you decide to go and get involved with her. It makes you feel like you the sucker in the situation. I don't know what women don't get about this. I don't know what little powwows y'all be having, telling each other a bunch of bullshit about how men think instead of actually asking, intelligent men how they think. You know what I mean? If you can't even sort out the type of black men that you would either go on a panel for or the type of black men that you would invite to a discussion to on a panel, if you were the women that were in control of the panel, if you can't even pick out which black men are intelligent for a fucking panel, then you're lost. You're lost. Because that already tells me that you can't even pick them out, most certainly not for a damn baby or who gets to be a father. Becoming a father in the black community should be a qualifying act. You should have to qualify to be a father. But black women, again, I'm not a black woman. I don't know what the fuck they're on. They just want babies. They don't want any real correction. Because if they wanted real correction, they would be shutting the shit down, because becoming a father should be the most important and valuable thing to a man that has his shit together. A man that plans on passing something on, creating something, preserving something, right? That's what it should be. But that's not what's happening out here. I found this little meme the other day. I was going to make a whole video about it. This little meme that what you're seeing in the background of talking about the biological father versus the stepdaddy. And I've had this conversation with a woman recently about this whole issue of decentering men. I'm like, think about it like this. If you decenter the biological father, I said this in a previous video, but I'm making it specific to this video. If you decenter men, if you've decentered the biological father, then how in the hell would you ever have the hopes of getting another man to come through and play stepdaddy? You've removed all the praise, accolades, rewards, recognition, and respect from the role of a man that is biologically the father. Talking about, when Mother's Day comes around or Father's Day comes around, y'all talking about I'm the mama and the daddy. I'm the mother and the papa. All that shit. Y'all think it's cute. But then you expect other men who are not biologically related to you, to your child that you have with another man, you expect that man to, quote unquote, step up to the plate for what? For what? You don't even respect the role of the biological father. You don't even respect the identity of the biological father and the importance of that role. So in decentering men and decentering fathers, what you've essentially done, let me be specific. In decentering fathers, you've decentered stepdaddies. Let me say that again. In decentering fathers, you have decentered stepdaddies. And then you wonder why you get brothers like Jacoby going up there talking about, I don't want to deal with single mothers. You wonder why this younger generation is saying no to single mothers. Okay? They've already seen the men get raked through court, get taken to the fucking cleaners, have to deal with in-laws and shit like that. You looking like a goddamn fool. You sitting over there and think about it. Okay? It's your stepchild's birthday. You don't have no kids with the woman. It's your stepchild's birthday. So who's going to be at the birthday party? Probably the biological father, his parents, and then her, and obviously her parents. And these are grandparents that you're not even fucking related to. So you got, again, more of this multi-partner family formation shit going on. Well, actually, technically, no, you don't, because you don't have a child with the woman. You have a child with the woman, it makes the shit even worse. Then you got to get into all the other shit. You know what I mean? You can't put hands on his child. He can't put hands on your child. You know what I mean? You're in the relationship with the woman, so you got to go and move to other states or whatever the hell. You going on vacation. You want to take the kid on vacation. You got to get permission from the father to take his child on vacation, whether he's there or not. Unless he has waived and given up his parental rights, even if he's an absentee, negligent father, it doesn't matter. You can't just pick up his kid and go. You see, there's a whole bunch of details in here that black women like to just move past and dismiss and talk about course correction and isn't she deserving of love? No, there's a lot of details in that bitch. There's a lot of details in that bitch that they like to gloss over. Becoming a parent is one of the most important decisions that you will ever make in your life, and the partner that you choose to become a parent with. It's the most important decision that you will make in your life. So, again, while black women, they think that they, Allen Iverson, crossover, slam dunk, on black men, when it comes to some goddamn fucking, he's unfit to lead, and this brother, he said he's unfit to lead, and ladies, y'all think that shit is a slam dunk. It is not. You're telling on yourself. It's like, he's unfit to lead. I can listen to he's unfit to lead from a childless woman. I can listen to that all day. Because again, him being unfit to lead is a disqualifier. It disqualifies him from having access to her womb, or so it should be. But when the woman is saying he's unfit to lead, and I see two babies, I'm like, whoa. You look like a damn fool. And then what I look like getting with you, and you a damn fool that had two babies with a man that's unfit to lead. What I look like getting with you. Y'all don't think this shit all the way out. Y'all do not think this shit out and what that makes you look like. Y'all think I done dunked on him. Boom, shakalaka. Right? That's what y'all think. I know I'm showing my age, right? Fucking NBA Jam and shit. Right? But that's what y'all think. But no, you're telling on yourself. You're telling on yourself. Men are assessing you based off of your actions and the things that you say. They're judging you off of that shit. They're trying to assess what your state of mind is. What are your morals? What are your values? What is important to you? Right? How do you act when a situation fails? Do you act like a immature child, or do you act like an adult, a mature adult that tries to turn lemons into lemonade? You know what I mean? And tries to protect your child and make sure that your child gets what they need to the best of your ability, including, especially when you have sons, leaders. I mean, you want to wonder why the cycle in the black community continues, right? If you can't teach your son how to be a leader, and then you didn't get with a man that's fit to lead, what do you think is going to happen with the next generation of boys? You think that you're just supposed to, just manifest leadership skills? You know what I'm saying? You think that they're like birds that fly south in the fucking winter, that they're supposed to have the instinct of responsibility? The instinct of responsibility. There's no such thing. There's no such fucking thing. That shit is taught. It's one of the reasons why when they send troops off to fucking to go fight wars and shit, they go to boot camp first. They don't just say, "Oh, here's a rifle. Now go get him, soldier. Go get him, tiger." No, they send them to boot camp to make sure that they're capable of engaging in combat and winning against the enemy. Damn. You know, so y'all, again, man, like the black community, like I said years ago, we send ballerinas into boxing matches and then we wonder why they lose. And when it comes to black women, like, again, y'all ain't gonna deny the importance of choose the man that you decide to lay up with and choose, you know, to be with. Yeah, granted, women, you know, you don't really approach men. Men are the ones that approach you, but you have the power of yes or no. That's your power. Your power is yes or no. And y'all don't use it like that. You know, and so we end up having these stupid ass circular arguments, circular conversations about you know, who's at fault in the black community. You know what I'm saying? There's areas that black women don't have anything to do with. But when it comes to, you know, making sure that your son gets proper instruction by choosing the right man, that's all on y'all. You know what I'm saying? I can't stop you from I can't stop you from getting with a homeless dude in a tent on the side of the fucking street. I can't stop you from going in his tent, mounting him, taking his semen, going off, getting pregnant, having the baby, carrying the baby for 9 months, having the baby, and then raising it. I can't stop you from doing that. And then what are you going to do? Come back and bitch to me that the homeless guy that you got with that was living in a tent on the street, I need to check him and tell him how he needs to get his shit together and man up? Bitch, you shouldn't have got with him in the first fucking place. Like think about how crazy you sound telling me I need to check him. I'm like, well, where did you find him? Well, I mean, you know, he was on the side of the Vine Street, you know, in a tent. He was on the side of Vine Street in a fucking on Vine Street, like, you know, like when you get off the Benjamin Franklin Bridge and shit. You mean right there? Like right when you come over the motherfucker, like he was right there sitting at the bottom where all the homeless people are underneath the overpasses and shit. You got with that dude. The dude that's holding a sign, you know, during the day in a fucking in a fucking wheelchair that he fucking stole from Hahnemann. That dude. That's what do you want me to do? What do you want? It's done now. You can't put the baby back. It's done now. What you want me to do? Like, you a black man. You need to address these black men. Because, see, that's the problem. Because niggas ain't checking other niggas. You got with the homeless dude on the street. What you want me to do? You know what I'm saying? He don't have the capacity. Why do you think he was homeless? God, like, it just, And then y'all wonder why black men get so angry and frustrated in the way that they do. Y'all cannot, like in other words, like, both people can't be stupid. If stupid people are getting with stupid people, like, what is there to address? What is there to address? If she's a dumbass and he's a dumbass and they get together and produce a dumbass situation, and it's unfortunate because the child ends up suffering in that, and the child is innocent. Child didn't ask to be brought here. But if you get two stupid people and they get together, you know, what do you do with that situation? You know, and again, like, you know, because there's levels to this shit and everybody's running around trying to date, you know, hypergamously, yeah, there's going to be people that are left over. So what do you do with that population? What do you say? They can't have kids? See, now you get into more of a greater societal issue, as opposed to it just being, some, ooh, it's the black men and black men ain't this, all that shit. What do you do with the people that don't appeal to other people? And then you just have the leftovers, and the leftovers decide to get with each other. Then what? This shit is it's never going to be zero, but it should be minimum. Most people are not that dumb. Most people are not that hideous. So, when it comes to these situations, what it really comes down to is a lot of people lack discipline, and they want to do what they want to do. Obviously, there's the greater impact of society and not having economic opportunities and all of that, but everybody should be fighting to get out of these situations, as opposed to just throwing their hands up and saying, well, I'm just going to pass go and collect $200 and just simply move forward. You're going to fuck yourself up. And I do understand, this sort of mentality where the system of white supremacy sets up the system artificially to be unfair and unjust and unequal. And you're like, well, if you discipline yourself in that environment that's set up to make sure that, that most people fail or most people don't have access to X, Y, and Z, well, then, right off top, then you're heading right towards genetic annihilation. And I understand people that want to push back on that. But I'm like, well, what's the alternative? What, are you going to bring kids into the world with no resources? And now they got to suffer with no resources? They got to compete out here against kids that have profoundly, supportive parents? You know what I mean? And then they got to go out there and what if they're smart? And then they got to go out there and they got to interact with dumbass people because they don't have fucking resources to escape, the dumbass people. They can't get away from them. You want to talk about an angry, pissed off, frustrated motherfucker? Have a smart person who's stuck around dumbass people who also don't have resources. Oh, that's the worst. It's the worst. So, I'm just saying, y'all think that shit is a slam. It makes y'all look bad, and y'all need to think about that shit before you run around thinking that screaming black men are unfit to lead is some sort of flex. It's not. Not when you had babies with the motherfucker. Oh, he's unfit to lead. Okay, so why did you move forward and have a kid with him? See, what had happened was, I don't want to hear what had happened was. Why did you have a baby with a man that you already identified was unfit to lead? I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. You obviously did what you wanted to do because you wanted a baby. That's what you did. Anyway, that's all I got. That's my video. SWP out. Don't forget to comment, share, like, and subscribe.
On the scene, diamond blingy, whole screen, checkerboard, Louis V. I'm so fresh and so clean. Stuff them bands in my jeans, slap them 30s in them things. Pull the trigger, let it sing. Then go smoke a Russian cream.
Boo, hold on.
Yeah.
Hello?
Where
Where we at? Oh, you want to know where I'm at? We outside!